Now, Prime Cabinet Secretary Mombasa Mudavadi has faulted two members of parliament for proposing bills to amend the country's anti-corruption law in a way that would make it easier for the corrupt to escape justice. Now, while speaking at the launch of the EACC Strategic Plan 2023 to 2028, Mudavadi also praised the achievements of the Commission in recovering stolen assets and securing key convictions. Speaking during the event, EACC Chairman Bishop David Oginde appeared to back President William Ruto's philosophy of Mambo ni Matatu. KTN's Ode Francis now reports.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Mombasa Mudavadi has called on two members of parliament, Peter Kaluma and Geoffrey Ruku, to withdraw their bills which he claims will claw back on the fight against corruption.
I kindly request the two members of parliament to consider withdrawing their bills. We must remember that we can only defeat corruption if we stand together in unity of purpose and effort.
He was the chief guest during the launch of EACC 5-year strategic plan. According to Mudavadi, the amendment bill would negate the government's effort to curb corruption. EACC CEO Twalib Mbarak stressed that the need for cultural and political changes to combat corruption.
If we want to counter this monster called corruption, there are three main pillars. The political culture of this country must change. The public must change its culture. The institutions that we have must be strengthened.
The bills sponsored by Mbeere North and Homa Bay MPs propose to replace criminal prosecution for procurement flaws with administrative sanctions and to repeal the provision that bars corruption convicts from public office. EACC has warned that these bills would weaken the anti-corruption legal framework and hamper its work.
Our anti-corruption efforts, therefore, are going to be focused on highly influential persons and highly exposed individuals. We are going to go for those people who have used their offices or who are using their offices to steal Kenya's resources. We are going to go for those people who are sometimes considered as small fish. But once upon a time, I went and I saw this small fish. It's called piranha.
EACC reported that it received and analyzed 30,523 reports from the public and other sources in the past 5 years, from 2018 to 2023. It recovered assets worth 28 billion shillings that were acquired through corruption or economic crimes and obtained 168 convictions in the courts. It also traced and preserved assets worth 47.9 billion shillings that are subject to ongoing litigation.
The journey towards the automation of anti-corruption court records and proceedings is also in full gear.
This engagement that we have between the EACC and the Office of the Auditor General has been yielding results as we are able to share information in as real time as possible and carry out joint investigations.
The event comes a day after Renson Mulele Igonga was sworn in as the new Director of Public Prosecutions by President William Ruto at State House, Nairobi. Ode Francis, KTN News, Nairobi.
The Senate Committee on Energy has raised concern over failure by Tullow Oil Company to adequately involve